Hello and welcome today to our afternoon session of Meet Momo Code finalists, Caleb, Moses. Welcome here to our attendees. Welcome, Caleb. Nice to have you here today with us. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. And you?
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I've not seen you for a while, so it's really nice to see you and get
Yeah.
up to date with what you're up to these days. So, feel free. And obviously, our attendees are here for you. They want to hear about, your journey. So let's kick it off. So let's go to our first question. So our first question is, please give a brief introduction about you, where you're from, your tech stack, and your tech journey prior to starting the JUUBIX Global TechSprint Leadership Program. Over to you, Caleb.
Okay, thanks very much. So, my name is Himele Chiribo Caleb Moses. I'm from Cameroon. I have a bachelor's degree in in software engineering that I had in 2021. Uh, Actually, in my tech stack, it's quite a lot because I have React, like React and Redux, apart from HTML, CSS. I have Ruby on Rails. I have Next.js. For the CSS frameworks, like I'm good at Tailwind, Vanilla CSS, obviously. Like for the database, I have MySQL and PostgreSQL. Yeah, with a little bit of Ask.net. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So what about your experience prior to starting JUUBIX? What experience did you have, maybe when you were younger, even, in your teenage years? Do you have any more experience of software prior to starting the
Okay.
JUUBIX
Okay.
program?
So as I said, I had my bachelor's degree in 2021, and immediately, before finishing my bachelor's degree, I did an internship, like for my defense, and like my brother told me about, like, close to the end of my internship, my brother told me about like Microverse, like an online training school where you could, I don't know, like go and, like, even though you know how to code already, you can still go there and learn best practice, extend your network and other stuff. And actually, one of the reasons why I chose to do it was because right now in Cameroon, it's not like, obviously, it's not very easy to get a job as software developer. Like, and even if you get one, the salary is not that good. So I feel like I have to extend my boundaries because you, like, the same thing you do in your country, there's like someone does it the same way in some other country and earns like 5 times more than you. So I felt like, since there's possibility of remote work, let me just try it, and yeah, that's what I did. And I finished Microverse in December 2022, and immediately after that, I started JUUBIX. Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you for that. That goes in nicely into our second question. Can you tell us a little bit about your family history and when, I mean, in regards to if they have any influence in regards to you choosing the technology industry?
Actually, like, okay, in my family we are 7 of us, like that, including my parents, and I'm the third. So I have one big sister, the eldest, and my big brother. Both of them are doing software engineering. So actually, I wanted to do tech because I never knew about software engineering like in its own, but I wanted to do tech ever since I was little. Like, I've always been like passionate about it, interested in it. So when my sister started doing software engineering, I was like, wow, like I was really like amazed by what she was doing because I was not understanding anything, but I was just seeing the products. So I was like, I even wanted to do it more. So when my brother started doing it also, my parents were like, no, we can't just have software engineers at home. That's possible. Like, we have to diverse. So they wanted me to do medicine. Yeah. I was like, wait, what? I'm not interested into medicine. I can't even see my own blood without like shivering. So I was like, no, I can't just do that. So they talked to me about electrical engineering that I can try it. Yeah. So I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. I'll try. But if it's not like, if I'm still not interested, I'll change back to software engineering that I wanted to do at first. So that's why in my bachelor's degree, I have 2 years as electrical engineer because I have a degree in electrical engineering and industrial computing. So I tried. It was not that bad, like not difficult, but I wasn't like into it. I wasn't interested. I don't know. It wasn't like I wasn't really interested by it. So after it, I told my parents that, okay, I tried and it's not bad, but it's not also what I want to do. Seriously, I'm not passionate about it. Yeah. So I said I'll switch back to software engineering, what I wanted, because even when I was doing my electrical engineering at home, I was coding, but in school I was doing electricity. So yeah, so I had to change back to software engineering. So that's why I changed back. And yeah, if I like talking about influence, my parents weren't like really forcing me, but they were just trying, like, yeah, like me myself understand that having all their kids doing software engineering is not the best. Yeah. But yeah, they were trying their best. But yeah, I can say my sister, I looked up to my sister a little bit. Like, I can say she was kind of a model, yeah, for me. Yeah, so that's it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Caleb. It really shows how, your parent might want one thing for you, but you want something else, right? So you have to go for
Yeah.
your true passion and your true interests. So yeah, well done. Hats off to you for that. Um,
Thanks.
what made you choose to participate on the JUUBIX GTLP? What made you choose to participate?
Okay. Actually, doing microverse is true. We were doing lots of projects because we did really like a lot of projects. But it's still school. Even if it's like projects, simulation, it's still school. So after microverse, I felt like I wanted to use like everything I learned, like the pair programming, not just this, like the hard skill, but the soft skills too. I wanted to like try it, like give it a shot. So when I saw JUUBIX at first, I was like, okay, okay, I can try, but I wasn't that into it. And then you talked about the leadership program and other stuff. And personally, if I can say 3 years, like if we take me in 3 years' time, like 3 years ago, I wasn't really interested into leadership or like being a leader and other stuff because I was like, if I can do my job, like being good at what I am at what I'm doing, then why should I like try to help, or let me not just say help, or why should I try to engage myself in something that's going to like be complicated? Yeah, because being a regular dev is not bad, but yeah, it's not everything too. So that's why I said, okay, I'll try it and see how it goes. That's it.
Fantastic, fantastic. That goes into our next question. Sorry, my glasses have literally got really blurry.
No
I
problem.
think when I'm breathing, the glasses got a bit smurry, so I'm just wiping them.
No problem.
So in the JUUBIX GTLP, what areas did you cover when you actually participated?
Okay. I'll say I mainly participated in the front end and the styling section, like the design. I don't know if it's my connection or yours, but I'm not seeing you very well. Anyway, yeah, I participated in the front end section and the styling because at first we had to like design everything on Figma before implementing the code in front end. But yeah, I was mainly in the front end side of the side of things.
And how did you find that? Because I know when you first started, it was just you and Ricky, and then it was like maybe one or two people. Then there came like a flurry of developers. We had like about 20 developers coming at one time.
Yeah.
How did you find that dynamic?
Okay, at first I was kind of okay. Like I was happy because at first it wasn't like something really, really big where I would have to like I don't know try to understand everyone and those stuff. Because as you said, it was just me and Ricky, so it was cool. Later on, when the other people arrived, actually one of the things like one of the reasons why I actually also decided to join the big was because um, personally, I'm not the kind of person that actually like comes into interaction with people. Like that's too much into interacting with people. So I wanted to, I don't know, change that about me. So I wanted to meet new people. That's even one of the reasons why I joined Microverse. I wanted to meet new people, like see how they are. I don't know, learn about how to interact with people. So when the other guys arrived, it was okay, but the like the point where I was a little bit, oh my god, was when I had to be team leader.
Yes, I
Yeah,
was about
that
to
was
touch
like if I
on.
can say that was the difficult part because at first I wasn't really, I don't know, thinking about managing other people. I was just doing my job. So
Mhm.
when I was the team leader, at first I was just like after sharing the task with like when we discussed as a team and we share the task, I was just thinking about finishing my own part of the job. But after some days, I tried to have a meeting with other team, and I felt like, and I realized that most of the other people had problems, like they had issues. And the difference between before was that now I was the one supposed to handle those issues because of the team leader. Yeah.
Mhm.
So at first it was not easy because some team members were not just present, not at all, like never there. Like some others didn't have tech backgrounds. Some others didn't have like good working materials and all stuff. So we tried. I realized that after like talking with with it as a team, talking about it as a team, trying to understand everyone, it's actually good because after that you try to help them, and at the end of the day, when you finish, it's not more like you won't say I finished, you will say we finished, and there's a certain pride in it. Like there's like something good about it. Like when you say we finished as a team leader, like at the end of the day, when you guys are able to finish like your task, because at the end of the day we split the task. Like those who were more available, we gave them a little bit more of a work, and those who were less available, we tried to adjust, like to balance. So at the end of the day, we could finish everything. So it was kind of very nice seeing everyone happy, being able to finish like what they was asked to do. Like yeah, that's it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, let's go to our next question. So our next question is, what resources were you provided? So obviously, while you were in the program, obviously you had, the developers, but what other resources were you provided in terms of advisors, mentors, I don't
Oh,
know,
okay, okay,
cloud
okay,
platforms, etc.
okay. First of all, okay, I'll first of all talk about the platform because it's shorter. So we're provided with some working materials, some such as like apart from the tech stack and like the GitHub and stuff. We used Figma for the styling, Image BB, yeah, Image BB for like storing and hosting of images components. I think AWS for the hosting of the app, yeah, for the hosting, yeah, so that's it. But for the mentors and the advices, first of all, it was you sharing us up since the beginning. Because since the first day, you've been sharing us up. I like the fact that they were mentors because before JUUBIX, I never had anything like mentor and all those stuff. So I never knew how it was to have a mentor. But there, they talked to us as if like we knew each other, even though it was the first time. They gave us good advice. It's like they talked to us like they told us like one of the things that I really like is that they told us that okay, being good is fine. Yeah, like being a good developer is fine. It's not a bad
Mm-hmm.
thing. But it's not like nowadays it's not very like everyone is good. Everyone is good. So you'll be one like among like billions of humans that are good. So
Mm-hmm.
to be able to achieve your goal, you have to be more than good. Like being just good is not enough. It's not enough. You have to be more than good, and you have to work hard. Like closing your eyes and saying I'm good is not going to help you. So you have to work harder. So they really advised us where even like they even one of them even checked at my resume. Something that I don't think that even like an employer like or a friend can do. Like he checked and gave me many advices, told me how to increase my network and all stuff. So I'm really grateful like for their help. Seriously.
Fantastic, fantastic. I remember there was one point where you were looking for a job, and you remember we were kind of messaging each other.
Yeah,
You were like, "Susan, I replied," and I said,
yeah.
"Don't worry, Caleb. It's gonna happen." And I think literally in a week or the week after, you got your first job. How was that?
Yeah. Actually, like I was super happy, like tell the truth. I was very happy, sincerely. Because it was my first it's true I had because after okay, can I talk about the after JUUBIX?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, go ahead.
Um, Okay, so after JUUBIX, like immediately after, fortunately for me, I had a part time. I was taking as a part time at Microverse where I studied, and it was
Hmm.
cool. And I continued applying because it's just a part-time job. I'm not going to live on a part-time job. So I continued applying, and 1 month later, I had like a real full-time job. It was my first time. Like you could see me jumping everywhere. Like I was really happy because I was given the chance. Because in addition to skills, to make someone like to be able to I don't know how can I say it to like to be someone in addition of your skills, you need opportunities. And that's the thing. We need opportunities. So I was like, someone gave me the opportunity to show myself, to show what I've got. So I really tried my best. I really did. Because in addition to that, the tech stack that they were using there was not completely, but it was different from what I trained. Yeah. But I really tried my best to adapt myself because the good developer is not the developer that knows everything, but the developer that can adapt itself with his environment. So I tried to adapt myself, and it was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I like what you said about a developer, being able to adapt to the different environments. It's not just
Yeah.
about being a good developer, but you also being
Yeah.
able to adapt to the environment that you're working in. Yeah, definitely. So did you feel that the GTLP was inclusive and diverse, and why?
Yes, totally. Because diverse, because I don't think there were two people from the same country there. Yeah, I don't believe that because I work with people from India, from Ghana, me myself, I'm from Cameroon, from Pakistan, like from all over the world, from all the continents. Yeah, and it was really cool. In addition to that, we weren't prioritizing one group over the other. We're trying to listen to everyone. We're always trying to like make decisions as a team.
Yeah,
So I really think it was very inclusive and diverse.
fantastic, fantastic. Let's go to our next question. So yeah, you kind of touched on it, but what have you been involved in since completing the JUUBIX GTLP? So I know you had your first job, and I think you've got a second job now, if I'm not mistaken. But have you been involved in any other
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
just training, etc.?
Okay, I had a part-time job, as I told you, the microverse part-time job, and 1 month later I had the full-time one at one company called Programmers. So when I started the full-time one, I had to put the post on the part-time, yeah, because I couldn't do both at the same time. And even with the working agreement, they said it's full-time, so you have to give it like a full-time. So it was fine. Like I learned a lot there. But after 5 months, I had to quit, like due to some personal issues, some personal problems. So I had to quit. And after that, fortunately for me, like they gave me back my part-time job at Microverse as a code reviewer. And in addition to that, I started working with a friend on a freelance project, like a Web3 DAO, yeah, NFT project. It's called Founders DAO, and that's like we are still working on it. Like we're still looking on it. So um, it was cool, but I was feeling like I still had time because I was working on it. But since I was building the components and other stuff using Next.js and Tailwind CSS, I finished kind of early, like faster than the other team because there was a team doing the smart contracts. There was another one, like the guy with whom I was working, like yeah, as a team, he was doing the integration, the smart contract integration in Solidity. Yeah, since I'm not very good at that, like I never knew about it before that
Mm-hmm.
project, so I wasn't good at it. So he was the one integrating the smart contracts. There was another design team, so I kind of did the components quickly, so I had time to spare. So I looked for another one, and I got one that I'm really supposed to start today. It's still a
Okay.
freelance project. Yeah, it's still a freelance project. The name is Primus Learning. It's a learning platform.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Interesting.
so we're supposed to build the like the app for like where students will come and like learn with the teachers and other stuff. So yeah, I think that's all. Yeah.
So another question I want to throw in. I know it's not part of our outline that I gave
Okay.
you, but
Mm-hmm.
there's investors that invest in companies, right? What if investors invested in talent? So obviously, like let's say there's an up inspiring talent like yourself, and the investor, let's say, has 100K, right? So now
Mm-hmm.
maybe he pays for you to do this program, and then he pays for you to do this project, and then he pays for you, and then he's kind of like building you up to be in a position to be a CEO. So maybe you're not CEO when he first meets you, but the investment
Mm-hmm.
that he makes in you makes you, be able to acquire enough skills to be able to found a business. What do you think of that model? Do you think it's something that could
Yeah.
work?
Yes, definitely. Like definitely. Why? Because in this world, like everyone is a talent in himself. First of all, everyone is a talent. So what people usually lack is not like the skill or the ability to learn, but it's opportunities, as I said. Because let me just take an example. Recently, GitHub like celebrated their 1 million developers. So like there are 1 million people, 100 million developers. Yeah. So there are 100 million developers out there that it's true that some have jobs, but I think like many still don't have. And it's not like they're bad or anything, but they don't just have the opportunity to show them, to show themselves. They don't have the opportunity to learn, like to give them the someone to give them like, okay, I believe you can do this. Show me that you can. And I feel like if there is something like that, it will really be cool. Yeah, it will really be nice.
So in terms of like developers, do you think that developers can learn quite quickly? So in terms of like, as long as they have the opportunities, 2 weeks, give them 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, you could see quite a vast, amount of learning done over that time, and they'll be able to be a bit more knowledgeable in the technology industry.
Actually, I believe that's the first skill of a developer. Quick learning. That's the first skill a developer should have. Like even if they don't have it, they can stay like practice makes perfect. That's the first kind of mindset the developer should have because right now the developing world is kind of overchanging too quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can see today there's a technology that everyone is using. Tomorrow there'll be a new one that everyone will have to switch to it. And if you're like, okay, you want to keep like stay on your technology that you've learned, if you're not the best, no one's gonna like recruit you because it's true you can stay on your technology if you're sure you're the best because there are technologies like C, like Java that are quite old, but people are still paying like for them, like for Java developers and a lot because they're the best. You can't just be a regular Java developer and you get a good job. No, that doesn't work like that. So you have to be constantly updating yourself. You have to be up to date actually. You have to learn. Every time a new technology comes out, you have to check. Like I'm not saying that you have to learn everything. No, that's not how it works. But you have to learn everything that's going to be useful to you. That you believe it like it's going to be useful. That you think you need, you will need, or you need. Yeah. You need to like have a growth mindset. Yeah. Adapt yourself.
Absolutely, Caleb. Absolutely. In regards of like the JUUBIX solution, what do you think you could do in the global market, like the actual, product that you are, supporting building? Like, what do you think you could do, in the global market?
Yeah, actually, as I said, and from what I understand from JUUBIX, which is a platform or a company that tries to provide opportunities for talents and provide uh, workable projects for investors, I feel like it's a very great idea because, as I said, like everyone is a talent, but not everyone has the opportunity.
Yeah.
So I believe that that from what I learned and from what I've seen with JUUBIX, like that like investors because investors have money like they have and they're looking
Mhm.
for ways to increase that money like where they can put the money and like in I don't know 1 to 5 years time like pay them back I don't know 200% or something like that. So I believe that yeah, if Juvis is like I believe that the idea is great at first. So I believe that if it continues like that, like I don't know, in 3 years, 5 years times, it can be like a very influential company with that idea.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for that. So let's go into our next question. So, in regards to like up and coming software developers, what insights or what advice would you give them? Someone new starting in this field, like what would be your advice to them?
Okay. Firstly, I'll say work hard. Like you have like it's a passion. So for the women, it's a passion. If you're not passionate about it, if you're just looking for money, at a point you feel sick of it. Like you get tired of it because especially since the COVID-19, where everyone was locked in their houses, like everyone tried to switch field because they couldn't go out to like find a job and other stuff. So everyone changed, like most of the people changed to software development. So right now, not everyone has a software like a web developer background or a software engineer background and other stuff. So to get a job, it's much more difficult than before. It's way more difficult than it's true that now there are more opportunities than before, but as I said, there are 100 million developers out there for jobs. So you have to so those who get the jobs are not always the best, but there are
Mhm.
those who actually give their best. Like it's a passion, so you have to like work up like 100%. Because if you're not passionate, you can't like spend the night coding. That's not just how it works. You won't do it because you don't like it. Yeah, that's it. Because I can't spend the night, I don't know, working on electricity. No, I can't do that. I can't spend the
Mhm.
night, I don't know, in a hospital working on someone. I don't like it's not my passion. But I can spend the night coding and I won't even feel like it's a pain. Anything understand? So if you want to, I don't know, rise and be actually someone, you have to give it your 100%. You have to work really hard, especially since, like, as I said, there are many other from different backgrounds. Yeah, because there's something that you don't have. Yeah,
Hmm.
like they know something you don't know, so you have to work harder.
I want to also add another question. Did you feel
All right.
that, you said the JUUBIX program was inclusive? Did you feel like you had
Yeah.
equal men and women in the program?
Yes, definitely. Like it
And how
started
did you
on.
feel working with other women?
Mm, what I'll say may sound, I don't know, funny, but some of them, like all of them, were good in their ways, and some of them were even better. Like I learned from all of them, to tell the truth, from all of them. Because there's one who I wasn't good at Figma or all those stuff. Like I'm not really a designer. I can design, but designing is kind of it's creative, it's creativity, it's
Yeah.
idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I have ideas when I'm coding, not when I'm designing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them actually taught me how to think when you're designing. Yeah. Another one showed me many things I never knew about coding. So I learned from everyone, and everyone was useful, both men's and women's. Seriously, coding is not just for men's. Yeah, for all of them. So, sincerely.
Fantastic. I remember one time you were like, "Oh no, no, is Divya gonna join the meeting?" Like you were actually like adamant that you wanted another female, one of our other participants to join the meeting, which was really nice to see. So going into our last question, well, our last question before we close this afternoon. Do you see yourself as a future leader, and if so, why?
So, hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Can
can
you hear
hear you.
me?
Sorry. Yes,
Did
yes.
you hear the last question?
No.
Oh, I said, do you see yourself as a future leader? And if so, why?
Yes. Now, yes. I can probably say yes now. Before, because before, like as I said 2 years ago, I wasn't really interested into leadership and other stuff. But yes, now why? Because I had a taste of it at JUUBIX. I had it because even right now, as I said in the Primus Learning, where I'll be working as from today, like it's true the team is not that big, but I'm the team leader. So and I'm not scared because 2 years ago I would have been, oh my god, no, I can't do that. But now I can probably say yes because I know what it is. Like I know what it is to be a leader, and like not like I know everything about it, but I feel like I can help people, like those who can't, I can help them find their way, like get better. Like I can manage a team that can do something good. So I don't know how to put the term, but yeah, that's just how I feel. I feel like it's possible.
Amazing. So, what would be the three key skills you'd say that you yourself could bring to the table as a team leader, or even as a leader, a global leader? What's the three, main skills that you could bring?
Okay, first one I'll say you have to like listen to everyone. That's the first thing. If you want the team to work, you have to listen to everyone because you can be that you just give orders, but at the end of the day, you have like less than even 50% of the productivity of your team because team members are just like kids, if I can say that, because I have two siblings. They're just like kids. You can, when they do bad, you can shout at them. That's a possibility. You can shout at them, but it will just be worse because in addition to, I don't know, not doing what they do good, they'll be scared or even angry. So you have to listen to everyone. You have to put yourself in place of them and think of like you have to, I don't know, find where each of them can be 100% useful. Because you can maybe have a developer and you give him, I don't know, API to handle. Meanwhile, the person is a perfect CSS handler, like worker. Like in styling, he's just the best. You keep on, I don't know, getting angry that he's unable to do his job. Meanwhile, you don't even know how, like, what is his field of predilection, like where he's best at. So you have to understand your team. That's it. Yeah, and you have to be the best too. That's one of the skills. Like you have to be good yourself. For the team to like to listen to you, you have to be good.
I think that was amazing. Yeah, I definitely think those skills are very, very important when it comes to leading and being lead of a team or being lead of others, and also
Yeah.
being inclusive as well. So yeah, really appreciate you coming and taking time out of your day today to talk to our audience. I
Thank,
really appreciate
thank
that,
you very much.
Caleb, and thank you to our audience for attending. Thank you for our attendees for listening to Caleb's story and his experience. And yeah, we look forward to collaborating further in future, Caleb. There's only
Yeah, sure.
any last remarks you would like to say, like a quote or just any last thing you'd like to say, just to, close out the meeting for today.
Mm, okay, if there's one thing I'll say is that do your passion. Like you only live once, so do what you like. Like, yeah, don't follow people's idea. Like you can, but you can listen to other people. But I don't know, do what you actually like to do. Even if you do follow other people's thing, at the end of the day, you still want to do what you did, what you wanted to do. So just go for it. If you really want to do it, give it your 100%. Like because if you don't give it your 100% and you disobey or you feel like you ignore the people's advices, they'll mock at you at the end because you went on what you wanted to do, but you didn't actually did anything. So if you want to do what you want to do, give it your 100%. That's just it.
Amazing. Thank you for that, Caleb. Well, thank you so much. And thanks again to
Yeah.
our audience. And yeah, look forward to our next afternoon session, which will be in 30 minutes' time with Rita. She'll be talking about her experience. And yeah, take care, Caleb. Thank you for joining us today. Take care,
Thank you very much
everybody.
for
Take care.
thank you.
Bye. Bye. Bye.